bitch. Oh, excuse you? Baloney ward. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Well, hello, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and welcome to Chris Avalon Unfiltered, where we basically go in and spill the latest tea on all the celebrity news, hot topics, all the things you want to talk about. We talk about it here on this show. So I got a lot of topics. I don't know what the heck just happened. Like literally minutes before I was supposed to go live, my damn ring light went out. I was like, oh no, y'all not playing in my face. So dark. I don't know. And I just bought this damn ring light too. So I need to figure out what the hell is wrong with it. But okay, so hold on a second. Okay, so we got a lot of tea to spill. We're going to be talking about Coachella. So they already announced who's going to be performing. I already mentioned who's going to be performing and stuff with Coachella couple of weeks ago when it leaked. So those names are official, but then they added somebody new that I had no idea they were going to add. Plus, we're going to talk about the GLAAD Awards. We're going to talk about that Zionist, Noah Schnapp, and that whole situation with him over there talking about how he's sorry for all the stuff he said, but because Stranger Things is filming, of course, this is why he's apologizing. So, Sara Ramirez, who y'all know as Diaz on And Just Like That, has been clipped from the upcoming third season. So they will not be a part of the show. We're going to talk about that. They're saying is because they're standing with Palestine. That's what they said is the reason why they were removed from the show. The producers and the people that's working on the show is basically saying it's because her her role wasn't clicking. That apparently a lot of people didn't like the character, which is actually warranted because I ain't like Che either. But so it's a back and forth situation. We're going to talk about the lengthy Instagram post that they posted and all that good stuff. Plus, Diddy is out here trying to act like he the black Donald Trump because he wanted his sexual assault accuser, the one from the gang rape that happened with him and Harvey Pierre. He wants her to reveal her, like name her. Name her. Name her. I'm having a sudden moment. He wants her to come out and spill her tea and find out who is this person that's filing this accusation. So there's that. Plus, this child, I don't know why this girl, I can't. Chrisean out here doing a dating show. And people pulling out guns on the set. So we're going to talk about that. We got the clip so y'all can see this foolishness. Plus, we were talking about Coachella earlier. So apparently, Doja Cat is going to be a part of the Coachella. What is wrong with me there? It's like I'm forgetting all my stuff. But anyway, so Doja Cat is supposed to be performing, but apparently her brother is out here being abusive, and the mother filed a restraining order. So we got that tea. Plus, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Bierman slashed the price on their mansion again. So we're gonna talk about that. And Marlon Wayans is coming to the defense of black men in Hollywood wearing dresses. So there's a whole back and forth situation with that. 50 Cent is apologizing to all the people that he's been trolling on social media. We'll see how long that lasts. And plus, I want to try something a little different at the end of the show. So usually, when I'm going out of the show, I'm supposed to be trying to close out and go off the air, but then I can't seem to stop running off of my mouth. So I want to do a little segment, or we go on these little tangents or whatever. I do, and then the audience does as well, who'll be in the comments. So I want to try something new called Ask Me Anything, where we could just talk about anything that is not pertaining to the topics that I brought up. If it's entertainment based or whatever, so what's going on with celebrities, that and the third, y'all can put it in the comments and we'll go back and forth and I'll give my opinion and stuff on that as well. So there's that. So before we get to the topics at hand, do yourselves a favor and smash that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. So that way when I go live, you'll know when I go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Okay. Now, without further ado, I do see some people are watching. How y'all doing? Without further ado, let's get right to the topics. So that way more people come in. So anyway, okay, so the Coachella was announced yesterday. A couple of weeks ago, there were word on the curb that Lana Del Rey, Doja Cat, and Tyler the Creator were actually going to be headlining. There were rumors that Madonna and a couple of others was going to be the fourth headliner. Nobody knew who the fourth headliner was. Turned out it wasn't true because we found out that No Doubt is the fourth headliner. First of all, if it's a weekend thing, why I don't understand the whole fourth headliner thing, but whatever. Now they're also saying that in addition to them performing, the other performance that's going to be there is Peso Pluma, Blur, who sidebar with Blur. it's funny how they're performing now, but Dula Pete, said that she was inspired by Blur with her new album. Other than that, there's going to be J Balvin, Ice Spice, Sublime, Lil Uzi Vert, Grimes, Victoria Monet, John Baptiste, Bleachers, Justice, Deftones, and Little Yachty. So they're going to be performing, and then rising artists like Bizarrap, Rap, Corona Ben. I ain't never heard of that person. Well, they did say they rising. That's probably why I never heard of them. So it's supposed to take place on from April 12th to the 14th and April 19th to the 21st. That's cute and all. Now, as far as like the lineup goes, Lana Del Rey, is she like somebody worth watching live? Like, to me, she gives me Frank Ocean. Like, okay, the music is cute or whatever, but when y'all get up there on that stage, y'all gonna get me dried and watching paint dry. So I don't know if I necessarily want to go see Lana Del Rey and them sad ass songs she be singing live. But if y'all like it, I love it. Doja Cat is a cute addition. She's from LA also. So I actually don't mind the idea of Doja Cat performing, especially with everything that's going on. And I did see her recent Scarlet tour. I ain't paid for it. I actually saw it on YouTube for free. So I recorded the whole thing. And I know people that are friends of mine that actually went to go see the tour, and they said it was good. And I watched it, and I actually liked what I saw. So Doja Cat definitely knows how to put on a show. Tyler the Creator, I actually like him because he gives me that whole Coachella vibe. Like, he's weird. He's out there where the buses don't run. I kind of like that weird abstract type of hip hop type of vibe that he has. And he's a real good stage performer. And he's definitely going to give you all a show. So I like that idea. No Doubt reuniting. I think from nostalgia's sake, because I grew up listening to No Doubt, I like the idea of them being on, a part of it. And it's good to see Gwen Stefani get back with the old, the gang, the band that put her on the map. So I'm here for her being a part of it. So, but as far as like the festival itself, I wouldn't be called dead there. Well, number one, I don't like festivals. I did festivals when I was much younger. I did Ozfest. I did a lot of those things. It really wasn't my cup of tea. First of all, you're around, like, by the time you leave, it's hot as hell. The dirt and the grass, everything done turned to sod and mud and nastiness. There's not that many porta potties. People are freaking disgusting when you go to those bathrooms. So that's, for me, with my Virgo OCD, I can't. Like, I can't do the whole festival thing. Like, I could do a concert and I could do that stuff, but I can't do a festival. So you will not be seeing me there. And on top of that, I had a reminder because I was scrolling on Instagram and somebody posted, I forget his damn name, but I usually, he posts a lot of like political type stuff. And he pointed out that the guy who owns Coachella is a Trump supporter and is against women's rights to choose and, border, control. And he's pretty much your redneck bigoted, well, not a redneck because he got a lot of coin, but he's like in that whole ilk of like what Trump represents. So he's in that whole situation. So I'd be like, for that alone, I would not be aligning myself with that. Now, I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money if you want to go, because now that whole Coachella to me gives me very much like a bunch of the bougie, uppity, wannabe hipster types that just like, oh, look at me, I'm being festival-y, and you're just taking selfies all day wearing a sundress and a big-ass hat on your head like you one of the women at the pew at the church. But if that's what y'all want to go and support, be my guest. But I am not putting money in the pocket of a damn Trump supporter who's going to continue to fund a lot of that mess over there with him. But then you want these very people who probably not even paying attention to what that is. They just happy they got a job and they get to perform somewhere and get a check. So good luck to y'all over there. And yeah, there's that. But I do have that story about Doja Cat and her brother being abusive, and the mother said knock the teeth out and everything. We're gonna talk about that later on in the show. But I do see we have comments. I did see that article about Madonna being sued by fans from the Brooklyn shows of the Celebration tour, because I saw it as soon as but it was minutes before I went on the show. Um, Jesus, well, should we talk about it now? And I was like, this should have been like part of the Ask Me Anything segment at the end of the show. But I did see that you did send me that, because I was checking messages literally minutes before I went live. I was like, where the hell is it? Oh, wait, I shouldn't. Oh, wait, I do find it. But that's crazy how like two New York City fans are suing Madonna for starting her show late. That was totally unexpected. Well, yeah, you know what? We'll make that part of the show. Hold on. I got to make the banner first. Please hold. I was like, what's a good headline? Don't be tardy for the party. Yeah, that. Madonna sued by New York fans for tardiness. That'll be the headline. So apparently, because I had to pull it up from Entertainment Weekly, it said, hung up on Madonna's continued tardiness, two fans in New York have filed a lawsuit against the pop star for late concert start time. Now, in the lawsuit filed Wednesday in Brooklyn and reviewed by EW, concert attendees Michael Fellows and Jonathan Hayden, or is it Haddon, accused Madonna, Live Nation, and Barclays Center. Thank God it happened at Barclays Center and not at Madison Square Garden, because that's my other place where I work. But anyway, of unconscionable, unfair, and or deceptive trade practices for offering tickets to the December 13th celebration tour at Barclays, marked at an 8:30 p.m. start time, only for the pop star to take the stage sometime after 10:30 p.m. As a result, by the time the show let out after 1 a.m., Fellows and Haddon were confronted with limited public transportation, limited ride sharing, and or increased public and private transportation costs at the late hour, per the suit. Additionally, attendees for the weeknight show had to get up early to go to work and or take care of their family responsibilities the next day. The suit also cited the late start times of Madonna's December 14th and 16th shows at the venue, making note of the pop star's long history of arriving and starting her concerts late. The defendants' actions constitute not just a breach of their contracts, but also a wanton exercise in false advertisement and negligent misrepresentation. Now, reps from Madonna and Live Nation didn't immediately respond to Entertainment Weekly's request for comment. Okay, well, look, this is not the first time that this has happened. Madonna has actually been sued. Back in it says here in the article, somebody by the name of Nate Hollander filed a suit against her in 2019, alleging breach of contract. But when she did her Madam X tour, she also started at 10:30. So here's the thing. If y'all know that this is a repetitive pattern that she don't go on stage until 10:30, then why are people acting shocked? I'm not excusing behavior. It's whatever the reason is the reason. But I think like if people are doing concerts and stuff, we need to kind of like think back to like, okay, so if we're doing this whole thing, like I'm spending a lot of money. I'm spending, I don't know how much. Well, I didn't pay a whole lot for my ticket because I got a connection, but and I got a good seat because I asked. But anyway, so when it comes down to the concert and stuff, when people ask these sort of things, okay, my thing is this: I'm gonna plan accordingly. So I already know, like, if I'm gonna be doing a Madonna concert and you're gonna be in the city getting ready or whatever the case is, I think people need to have some kind of awareness of knowing, so what time you're going to get out. Like, you can't think of, oh well, the ticket says 7:30, so I'm assuming, what you thinking, you're going to go, she going on as soon as you get in the door. Like, it takes a lot because you have to go through, when you're going into these arena type spaces, you're going in through metal detectors, you're going in, they got to check you. They got to all this, making sure you ain't bringing nothing in. Then you got to go to the concession area, get a drink. Then you got to go and you might come across the usher. If you're not necessarily sure where your damn seat is, you got to have them help you find your seat. So that's what they doing. And then you sitting there just waiting for the show to start. So a lot of, there's a lot of technical bells and whistles and stuff with the Madonna show. So I think a lot of people need to plan accordingly. I know it's hard because Madonna's demographic is skewers older, and a lot of people have families, a lot of people have kids. I am curious to see if these people suing have kids, are in a relationship, and have those kind of responsibilities. I understand some people are like, you know what, I can't take off of work, I can't do, I can't, I can't do all the, I don't have, just basically just say that I can't take off of work, I got all these other responsibilities. Some people don't have that luxury. So I totally get it. But if y'all able to get some coin out of this situation, then good luck. But I have to say, like, I think in the future, people in Madonna's team and these damn arenas or wherever she's gonna be performing at, y'all need to let people know, because unfortunately, you have to tell people shit because people ain't that fucking bright where they think ahead instead of being in the moment. There's some people that just get up and just go with the flow and just be in the moment and don't really think like, you know what, if I'm going to be going to this concert, things might happen. I may get out a certain time. There could be some issues with the summer. Even if you got out at 11, 12 o'clock, there's still be issues with the damn trains, especially in New York. New York, for a city that has one of the oldest and biggest subway systems in the world, our train systems is shit. So I don't understand, like, and then when you go to, and I get it, when you go to other places and you see how it is, their train systems is better. It's probably because their train systems are recent. It's not like, the trains, our trains are over 100 years old, our tunnels and all that other stuff. So they're constantly down there building stuff. There's never a day that goes by that ain't some damn train traffic. Look, we just had, like, from what I know from the news, 2 damn derailments with the train. So I don't know. The MTA, there's always bitching and complaining when it comes to the MTA, and I get it. I don't know with the ride shit. Child, first of all, I ain't doing no damn ride shit. Like with me, I guess I am high maintenance and bougie. I will never. I do Uber X. I don't do ride share unless I'm traveling with friends of mine. Then we'll share an Uber because that's what I did when I was in Philly. Me and my friend David, we were just sharing the Ubers wherever we needed to go, even though it wasn't that far where we was going. But when we went to Philly for Safira Cristal, we were basically Ubering for wherever we could, and we were sharing it. Other than that, I don't do the whole Uber share with friends. I did that. I mean, with strangers. I did that before when I was in LA. I did not like it at all. I was like, now we stopping everywhere, picking people up. It felt like remember the dollar vans? I don't know. They probably charge more now. But it's like the dollar van. You get all the people in there, and I feel like I'm about to die. I want a car to myself, or if not, I want friends. But other than that, I just feel like in the future, to wrap this story up, people just need to take precautions and really take the time to think about who they're going to have around and all that stuff, and or plan accordingly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just plan accordingly. Make sure you got your side FU money just in case. Hopefully there is some Ubers and stuff around. I don't know, but I've never really had a problem like securing Ubers, no matter how late it is. So just make sure y'all got your little side coin, because when it comes to Madonna, it's all about technicalities and stuff with her, and making sure that everything is copacetic. Because yeah, she do be going on late. But look, I wonder what happened to that person that sued her for the Madam X. So did they get money? I don't know if I didn't read further along in the article to even know if they were able to get money, but probably not. They probably say, "Look, snooze you lose." Um, you've heard about Oksana. She went to every Madam X show, and she supposedly sold off her collection, and she said she wasn't a fan anymore, and is now going to multiple. Wait, she's not a fan anymore. Why is she selling her stuff? And then it said her and a couple other people tried to sue Madonna over something for. Oh, so is it the same thing? Child, it's a mess. And look, Victor Gates is in the building. Oh yeah, so yeah, good luck to y'all on that. But yeah, let's get into this other story. Where he said just logged on. Okay, what is the next story? Because I was like, I had to add some of the last minutes and I gotta scroll up. Okay, so let's talk about the GLAAD Awards, because this is award season. Like, but speaking of which, I don't know if y'all heard, but the Emmys, they said that was the lowest rated in a long time, but it was up against a lot of stuff, and I think because of the whole actors and writers strike, there was a lot of things that went down with it. So it was a lot of stuff. I think, what was it? It's sports season. Like, people were watching sports and stuff on TV. The Republican National Convention was going on, so Middle America's watching that, and some people are not in the blue states. Trust and believe, a lot of them vote for Trump too. So, or he wasn't on TV, but I think it was, what was it, the other one, Nikki Haley, her brown ass, who going around acting like slavery was a damn choice or didn't exist, because that's what she said. And that other big-headed one with the kitten heels that's over in Florida, them two trying to, be president. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about The Color Purple and all these other stuff that had queer characters in it that was nominated for GLAAD Awards. So yeah, it's award season. We just had the Critics' Choice. We just had the Emmys. We just had the Golden Globes. We have more coming. We got the SAG Awards coming, the Oscars. We have yet to find out who's been nominated for that. But the LGBTs is out here with their awards. And then, it's basically What GLAAD does, it just honors excellence in LGBTQ, LMNOP, and all the other acronyms, visibility, and representation across all media, from film, TV, music, journalism, publishing, and more. Now, the 10 movies vying for Outstanding Film Wide Theatrical Release Prize are All of Us Strangers, which I've been hearing so much about. Is that movie out yet? That movie has been heavily promoted. American Fiction. I didn't know that was gay or that had gay characters in it, but I do want to see that film. I do love Jeffrey Wright. Anyone But You, The Blackening. Blackening was funny. Bottoms, I heard the Bottoms was pretty good too. The Color Purple, It's a Wonderful Knife. Okay, so some of the movies is in here because I'm gonna just go through each one. So Bottoms I haven't seen yet, but I heard it was funny, and I definitely want to check that out. The Color Purple I have not seen yet. It's been getting, there's been a lot of hype surrounding it, a lot of drama going on with that too, where they just basically it's the movies seem to be known more for everybody complaining because that's the kind of narrative that they've been putting out there between Taraji saying all the stuff that was going on behind the scenes and people dragging Oprah, and then you got Jillian Michaels on all over the internet talking about Oprah out here profiting from Ozempic and they being honest about her weight loss. There's a whole drama with that. That's on the website. And then you got the people complaining about eating pizza, Fantasia or lamb chops. This is a whole mess. And then on top of that, I heard The Color Purple flopped at the box office. That it was $100 million budget and it has yet to recoup the coins now. So with all this drama, and then Miss Bussy and the rest of them bitching and moaning about the whole gay storyline, which I'm like, did you not read the book? Did you not see the original movie? It was queerness throughout that damn, through both. But more so, I'm hearing in this. But I don't know. I think more people have been turned off of musicals. I don't know. I have to see the movie to make the decision for myself as to why I don't think it's working. But for the most part, The Color Purple is considered a box office flop. And not even Oprah putting her name and going out there promoting it everywhere she could save it or get people to, get butts in the theaters. It's a Wonderful Knife was actually I like that movie. They did have a lot of queer characters in that. That was a good horror movie. If y'all have not seen that, definitely check it out if you have Shudder. A Knock at the Cabin or Knock at the Cabin. I actually like that too. Moving On and Shortcomings. I have not seen those. Now on the TV side, they have 911 Lone Star. I do like that show. The Shy, Chucky, Doctor Who, Good Trouble, Grey's Anatomy, Quantum Leap, Riverdale. Riverdale, that shit's still on? Wait, I thought the CW was done with. Like, I thought they got rid of everything. So how are we still nominating Riverdale? If y'all like it, I love it. Station 19 and Yellowjackets. The comedy series hopefuls are in Just Like That, Good Omens, Harlem, Harley Quinn, Our Flag Means Death, Sex Education, Somebody Somewhere, Ted Lasso, and What We Do in the Shadows and With Love. I've been hearing so much about What We Do in the Shadows. I've not watched that show. They said it's like a gay pirate show, but I haven't seen it. I am curious to see who's going to host this, though. But they also said that, and Beyonce got nominated too for the Special Recognition Honors Award for her Renaissance film. So we already know she's gonna walk away with that. But besides that, that's cute with all those nominations. It just goes to show we had a lot of queer characters. Now I did say something on my social media with I did say something on my social media about, I love the fact that, oh my God, Saltburn and all these other films are getting recognized and we're getting a lot of, queer representation. But it would be nice if we had some featuring people of color. And by people of color, I'm talking Black gay love, as in a Black guy dating another Black guy, and it's not just, oh, you Black, but you dating somebody white. Like, I'm all for the interracial relations. Like I told you, I'm a product of interracial relations. But I would like a mix. Like, we need to mix it up. We need to have a hodgepodge of different representation. So we need those LGBTQ, LMNOP representation. Excuse me. I did a Wendy where I talked in birthdays. But anyway, so we need that representation, but and that would be nice because I had somebody post on, Ray Diesel, the porn star, because he is a friend of mine. He was like, "Oh, we have all these. We do have the representation." And I said, and I pulled a Sutton, name them, name them, name them. So I did that, and he's naming Noah's Ark and Nas and Malik, and I'm like, "Child, the movies is old. I'm talking recent." I'm talking about something beyond, red, white, and royal blue, and fellow travelers, and Our Flag Means Death, and all that other stuff. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that throughout the years. I'm talking about recent. So, of course, nobody could name it, but that proves my point. We need diversity. And not just, what they keep calling wokeism. Oh, you're being woke. I understand what y'all saying about the whole woke thing. And we'll get into that when I bring up the story about the chick, the non-binary actress. I would say chick, but they go by they them, so I had to go had to pull it back. What's their name? Oh, Sara Ramirez, been fired from, and just like that, not on there no more. We're gonna talk about that coming up. So, and I'll give my thoughts about the whole woke thing where y'all keep trying to weaponize that shit, because I seen that in the comments when they was talking about that. So here's the thing, what I'm actually interested in, because I was like, let's go through some of these, but the more interesting ones would be the reality shows and the music. Because I got an issue. Well, I got kind of a bitch about the music category, but we'll get into that. So, outstanding reality program, they have Bargain Block on HGTV, Family Karma on Bravo. I do like Family Karma. I Am Jazz from TLC. I like Jazz Jennings. I didn't know that show was still on, but look, I ain't got cable, so I don't know what's on there no more. Living for the Dead on Hulu. Never heard of that. Queer Eye, child. I never could get into that. Real Housewives of New York City. Oh, the recent one? That show is so boring. Selling Sunset. I do live for that show. Swiping America. Never seen it. Trans World Atlanta, which is on Tubi, and The Ultimatum Queer Love on Netflix. Now, outstanding reality competition program. This is the one I actually like. The Boulay Brothers Dragula. Child, when I tell you I lived for that episode, that recent season of the Boulay Brothers Dragula, it gave me my life, especially because, we all knew who was going to win. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet, because, people be cussing me out in the comments whenever I reveal who people, when they went on the show, and rightfully so. I know I need to put a disclaimer and all other stuff, so I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. But I think like Sasha Colby on last season's episode, season of Drag Race, we all know who's going to win when they walk through the room. So they got the Boulay Brothers Dragula, the challenge battle for a new champion. Now, I have been watching the challenge. I have not watched the season. However, do the challenge be having gay people on there? Because the only ones I be knowing is the ones that's engaged, Nani and Casey. Those are the only ones I know. Whenever y'all have gay boys, y'all barely have gay boys on there. Or if they do, I've heard stories that the boys do be getting down behind the scenes, but they do it off camera. So y'all really don't have no real queer representation. So I don't even know why the challenge is on here. But maybe that's why they picked it, because of that reason, because of Casey and Nani, who's engaged, by the way. Drag Me to Dinner on Hulu. I did not like that show. I maybe watched like 2 or 3 episodes and I bailed. I was like, this ain't it. Even though I love seeing Mario Diaz, I love seeing Bianca Del Rio, I love seeing all the people on there. The show just wasn't it. I just think maybe Neil Patrick Harris and his husband irritates me. That's probably why I didn't like it. Then they have Love Trip Paris on Freeform, My Kind of Country on Apple TV Plus, Next in Fashion. I like that show. I hope they bring that back. Project Runway, which has been on for the longest and never walks away with an award because RuPaul keep winning everything over at the Emmys. So they have that. Speaking of which, RuPaul's Drag Race is nominated, Survivor and The Voice. So more than likely, because of outstanding reality competition, my choice, I like a lot of the choices. It's going to be hard, but I have a feeling because RuPaul's Drag Race is so popular, that might walk away with it. It would be nice if they switched it up and gave it to something like the Boulay Brothers Dragula. Even though I've heard stories about the Boulets aren't the nicest people, and I've heard this from various sources, but I would like to see that show win. Now, let's get to the music. So, outstanding music artist, and then we're gonna wrap this up because I got other topics to get to. Billy Porter, Black Mona Lisa. Chill. That album was so dry. I listened, I'm like, what is this basic disco music for the mayonnaise Americans? That's what it felt like. It was like a black man just in whiteface doing his interpretation of dance music. I'm like, what is this? Throw this album away. Like, I like Billy Porter, but she just be doing too much. I wanted the drama. I wanted all of that stuff that you be doing when you walk into a room and be running off with your damn mouth. Even I heard another thing, that Billy Porter ain't the nicest person either. I've heard that to you from some people that I know. I got sources, Chad. But I said, Chad, you cannot be out here being a mess and being mean spirited when your bottom teeth look the way they look. Like, you can't be doing that. So they got Billy Porter, Black Mona Lisa, Boy Genius, the record, who I believe they're also nominated, the band, because there's a bunch of women in it, lesbians. They were nominated for I forget how many Grammys, but they're like huge in the whole Grammy thing that's coming out this year. Like they got multitude of them nominated, probably like 8, I think. Brandy Clark, Janelle Monáe, The Age of Pleasure. I actually like that album. Kim Petras, they've nominated both of her records, Feed the Beast and Problematique. I didn't like Feed the Beast, but I did like Problematique. Miley Cyrus, Endless Summer Vacation. Now, I do like Miley Cyrus. I would like to see her win. I doubt it. Although, I will say this. I don't know if, did y'all hear the new Miley song? They play it in the New York Fashion, well, not even New, is it New? No, it can't be New York, because New York Fashion Week don't start till February. But Miley Cyrus has a new song that was previewed during the Louis Vuitton show. You know, the one that Pharrell is a part of. He's the creative director. So they play her new song. It's cute. I like it. I don't know. She talking about she retiring from performing and stuff, but maybe she'll still put out music. Renee Raps, No Angel. I've been hearing so much about Renee Raps. That girl is so overhyped, but I just don't. She's not my cup of tea with the music, but if y'all like it, I love it. Sam Smith, Glory. Had some cute songs on that album, but he wasn't giving me what needed to be given. I was not feeling it, so we could throw that album in the trash. Now, Troye Sivan, Something to Give Each Other. I absolutely love that album. I do listen to it a lot. This is like his, in my opinion, his best album out of the 3 he's released so far. And then we have Victoria Monet, Jaguar too. Now, Victoria Monet has been a choice of mine as like one of the best albums of 2023. That is on my list. If y'all see my list of best albums of the year, she is on that list for me. So I'm living for her. But it's gonna be hard to see who they pick as best or outstanding music artist. I have a strange feeling it's probably gonna be between Kim Petras, Janelle Monáe, or I don't want to say Sam Smith, but I feel like they're going to go for Sam Smith. But we'll see when the awards pop up. And then last but certainly not least, they have Outstanding Breakthrough Music Artists. They say Chappelle Roan. I don't know who that is. David Archuleta. I didn't even know David Archuleta released music. I know he was releasing stuff, but I didn't know he released the album. But it said Archie Music, so that must be self-released, independent. Fancy Haygood, G Flip. G Flip I know is because she's married to Chrisean, who's on oh my god, I just talked about it. The show that when they flip the houses on Netflix. I just had the show and I forgot. I don't know why I'm thinking about, oh, I know why I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. It was probably because I was watching something with Carlos King before I came on live. So also they got Ice Spice. Child, throw her away. She can't perform for shit, and her music is trash. Aniko, Jay Lamack, The Scarlet Opera, Slater, who I absolutely love Slater's album, and Umi. I saw one of my friends mentioned Umi earlier today. But anyway, nevertheless, those are the choices. I think they revealed when the awards are supposed to be coming out. Um, I don't remember, and I'm not trying to figure out what day it is, but I'm sure the day when the day get close, we'll talk about it. Okay, so I see there's a lot of comments. Um, oh, you said you went against. Oh, it went against. Yeah, it went against. Oh, it went against the NFL playoffs. Plus, there also is because the Super Bowl is right around the corner. I see Usher's been teasing a lot of what he's going to be bringing to the Super Bowl, so expect to see a lot of what y'all been seeing him doing as of late, including some roller skating. And he said R&B is going to be the dominant situation, which I think a lot of people have been kind of nervous about. And I'm like, why? Why are you nervous about R&B? R&B is the foundation. It should be something that should be celebrated. Everything don't need to be y'all seeing a bunch of black people up there like, dancing and giving all of that. He's gonna give you a show. Usher is a showman, so you'll be fine. Like, I don't know why people getting worried. So yeah, went up against the NFL playoffs, and I also think it was the Republican debates and all that other stuff was going on too. Jeffrey Wright could get it. Oh yeah, I do like Jeffrey Wright. I've been a fan of his for a long time. I remember Jeffrey Wright back, like he's been around for a long time. He did an episode of New York Undercover and Law and Order Well, everybody did Law and Order SVU. If you're from New York and you're an actor, those are the main shows you go. If you have your rite of passage is either doing soaps, which would have been All My Children, One Life to Live, or you do Law and Order. That was the New York City rite of passage. If you was an actor, everybody and their mother who was a New York actor did Law and Order, and Jeffrey Wright did Law and Order. So the first movie I saw Jeffrey Wright in was about his. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that was the movie that I think put him on the map. Bottom was funny. Did you know Cindy Crawford's daughter was? No, I did not know that. I also did not know that Margot Robbie produced Saltburn. That shocked me. I was like, so she produced two movies that came out last year. She did Saltburn and Barbie. I'm like, girl, I didn't even know that. So that shocked me. What We Do in the Shadows is a vampire TV show that is gay-ish. Oh wait, yeah. So I've heard of that show. That's done by Taika Waititi. But I was thinking about his other show too, the one where they play the pirates. He has two shows that's on. I wish they had kept Love Victor going. I did like Love Victor when that was on, but I don't know. I guess people didn't. Oh, this about. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So y'all giving an award to one girl coming out of class? Okay, let me stop being mean. I was like, wait, because Big T came out as a big old lesbian. And you want to know something? I like Big T. She was like one of my favorites throughout the seasons of doing. I remember I forget which season of the challenge it was, when her and CT were together and he was just like dragging her around. But because she was so lovable and so sweet and everything, everybody was rooting for her. But it was like, yeah, Big T was always my favorite. But y'all, I told y'all my favorite on the show, but apparently he's straight. I love me some Horacio. That's my husband. I was like, look, if y'all seen Horacio, y'all know that boy fine too. But anyway, the entire cast of the challenge, who you telling? And it said, when you talk about the Doja Cat situation, I love to scream fuck the Barbs with those nasty tweets. Oh, they were going out saying nastiness. Oh, yeah, I think he was telling me about that the Barbs are actually sitting up in here celebrating abuse. I'm like, I know y'all not talking out the side of y'all mouth about Doja Cat brother being abusive and stuff when y'all girl be out here supporting a damn convicted sex offender and her brother's a damn rapist too, raping underage women. So or girls, because they ain't women when they underage. So if you're gonna come out here and try to read, child, don't do it because you will get read the fuck back. You know that boomerang, when you toss it, eventually supposed to come back to you. So I know we're not doing that. Not on Beyonce, Blue Ivy, and Solange's internet. Speaking of people that work my root canal nerd, let's talk about this heifer. Because I got the clip of him talking about this foolishness too. So, there's been a lot of situations going on with Noah Schnapp. Y'all already know my thoughts about him. I don't particularly care for I liked Noah Schnapp when he was part of the show. When he came out of the closet, I was applauding, rooting for him and those other stuff because I'm like, yay, another part of, another celebrity was coming out and owning who they are and just living in their truth. So I was like, it's cute. Then all of a sudden, he decided, when this whole Israel-Hamas situation came around, he started showing his entire ass on social media and thinking the shit was funny. And people was dragging him and stuff on social media, and rightfully so. But now all of a sudden, because Stranger Things just started filming not too long ago, now he want to come out and backpedal and apologize and say that his words was misconstrued because they filming the final season. Now, I do have the clip that I want y'all to see because it's like, I don't want to have to sit here and read it. Y'all can pretty much hear it from the horse's mouth. And so as a class, we're going to watch it and then we'll come back and we'll give our thoughts.
Hey guys, it's Noah. I just wanted to come on here super briefly just to discuss everything that's been going on online. I feel like my thoughts and beliefs have been so far misconstrued from anything even close to what I believe. And I wanted to just state from my heart how I feel. I only want peace and safety and security for all innocent people affected by this conflict. I've had many open discussions with friends from Palestinian background, and I think those are very important conversations to have, and I've learned a lot. And one of the takeaways I've had is that we all hope for the same things, that being those innocent people still being held hostage in Gaza to be returned to their families, and equally hope for an end to the loss of innocent life in Palestine. So many of those people being women and children, and it's horrible to see. And I think anyone with any ounce of humanity would hope for an end to the hostility on both sides. I stand against any killing of any innocent people, and I hope you guys all do too. And I just hope to one day see those two groups be able to live harmoniously together in that region. And I hope for 2024 online to see people be a little more understanding and compassionate and recognize that we're all human. regardless of our race, of our ethnicity, of our background, of our country of birth, of our even our sexuality, of anything. We are all human and we're all the same. And we should all love each other for that and support each other and stand together for humanity and for peace.
But do you mean it though? That's what I want to know. Does he really mean what he say, or like I said, you just backpedaling and pussy popping because the show is filming. Netflix and his people want to do damage control. And it's funny how they doing that, but they didn't offer the same grace to Melissa Barrera. I'm sure they didn't offer the same grace to Sara Ramirez when we get to that story after this one, in regards of people and their thoughts on the Israel-Palestine thing and how some people feel like they're being blacklisted if they speak out against it. And my thing is this, is that when you said a whole bunch of stuff, and I hope that what you're saying is actual true tea, but I'm not buying it at all. And for those of you who don't remember, he drew criticism in November after a video surfaced of him seated inside of a restaurant holding stickers that read Zionism is sexy and Hamas is ISIS. Now, Lauren, I can never pronounce how you say her damn name, who was a member of the group Fifth Harmony, sharply criticized the video in a post on X, accusing Schnapp and his friends of an enjoyment of bloodshed, an enjoyment of death. And John Cusack retweeted it, basically sending it out to more people. Now, no one is sitting there saying that Israel doesn't have a right to defend itself. It really does. But if you know the history of the eradication of the people and genocide and all this other stuff that Israel and Palestine have been going through long before I've been on this earth, then I would implore you to do your research and your education. Now, you're going to get the Facebooks and the Instagrams, anything with Meta. They're going to do whatever they can to kind of make sure that reach doesn't get out there. But if you have a TikTok, trust and believe those videos are getting out there. Follow people like Mark Lamont Hill. Follow people like Amanda Seals. Lady Bunny, who's a friend of mine, posts a lot of stuff regarding what's going on with political. I seen Joy Reid's been posting a lot of stuff that have really been like, well, damn, do she still got a job at MSNBC? Because she going against the Western establishment. So, but so I say all this to say is like, you know what? He's so full of it. And didn't he star in a movie? I forget what movie it was, but I remember somebody also brought up a while ago that he played a half Palestinian, half Israeli kid who, I guess the way he would bridge the gap between the fighting parties is that he did it through cooking and all this other stuff. I believe that was the premise or the plot of the film, but I did hear he starred in that role as the kid. So I'm like, but wait a minute. So did you just do the role because you wanted a job and you want to become an actor, or did you not understand the role in which you were playing? I mean, I don't want to sit up here and try to act like kids aren't smart, because some kids are way more, I know I was way more intelligent than the average kid when I was little. That's why I said I went to a school for gifted and talented kids starting from like elementary school. So there's some kids that are just like gifted and stuff like that. And he gives me that he's a smart kid. So for him to sit out here and try to play like, well, yeah, I didn't mean all this other stuff, I'm calling cap. I feel like he's full of shit. I don't believe his apology. Like I didn't believe Lil Nas X's apology when he said what he said to the Christians the other day. So, Noah, I don't know what. So, does this mean that y'all gonna support the show? Or y'all gonna support Stranger Things? Or you're gonna watch the final season? See, I'm kind of torn because it's like, damn, my nosy ass want to know how it ends. So I'm like, damn, do I gotta watch this damn show? It's kind of like with Scream, like people mad about the whole Scream situation and the way they treated Melissa. And don't get me wrong, I am just as pissed as y'all are. But then the curiosity in me is like, damn, I want to see it just out of curiosity to see how what happens, how it ends. And to me, I didn't even know this because I was watching another show and they said that Stranger Things was meant to be an anthology. It wasn't even meant to be a series. So they're putting all this other stuff in here that doesn't really make sense because Netflix, this is a huge hit for them. Because after one season, they cancel every damn thing else. So what else they got over there to watch? I think that's also why people don't really trust in Netflix and stuff like that, because it's like, well, damn, I don't know if I should watch the season right now because y'all be canceling stuff after the first season, even when it got a whole bunch of numbers. So I don't know. So my stance is I'm on the fence. I may, depending on that trailer, I may watch it and have to bite my damn tongue until it bleeds, watching him on screen, but as someone who's been invested in this whole series for as long as it's been on, I don't know if I could just decide to not watch Stranger Things based off of one cast member. He's not even the lead. He's part of an ensemble. So I don't know. Okay. So we do have comments. You did show that. It said, well, ASAP is one of the pit crew. I don't particularly like ASAP. I've never really been a fan of his. I was so irritated seeing him on Drag Race this season, like in the first episode. I need my Calix and I need my Bruno. Those are my two right there. I miss the old pit crew from back in the day. But for now, like if I want pit crew, I miss, I love me some Bruno and Calais. That's my eye candy right there. ASAP is like a straight dude playing in gay spaces, and to me, he's always come across as a bit thirsty and opportunistic. So I don't particularly care to see him on the show. But look, everybody has a right to get a job, and if he wants to play in our space, he can play in our space, but don't play in our face, is what I'll say. Oh, he actually knew. It's like, well, I should have known. Victor Gates be on it when it comes to the movies. He does a whole YouTube on like film and gay films and all that other stuff. So if y'all don't get a chance, y'all should definitely check his page out too. But Noah's movie you're referring to is called Abe. I said I knew I was on it because I was like, yeah, there was a movie he played a half Palestinian, half Israeli kid, and then the way he bridged the gap between the two fighting parties was that it was through cooking. And so you played a half Palestinian and a half an Israeli. You should have known. You should know better. But I guess when you've been indoctrinated to believe certain things, and when you go around other people that want to tell you otherwise, saying like, "Sir, I don't know if you know, but your life is a lie, and this is why." And when you find out the truth, now you want to be accused of being anti-Semitic. It's like, no, I've always been open in my brain, of learning new things, open dialogue, that sort of thing. Child, I posted something earlier about the Congo and how the US and the CIA had a whole lot to do with getting rid of the president, the black president over there. Once they emancipated themselves from that whole slavery situation, then our hands in America is so dirty when it comes to a lot of political shit because they want minerals or oil or all these different things. The colonization historical colonization of the things that we've done in this country, y'all would gag. And sometimes I be just looking at my country, and then I can't help where I was born. I was born here, but um, when you learn of the history of our country and the things that so many politicians and so many people in a lot of higher places have done to colonize and take from other people's, because we have money and weapons and all this other stuff, y'all would really shake y'all head in disbelief. But the point is that we're supposed to learn the history and not repeat it. Instead of you got Miss Kitten Heels over in Florida who want to sit up in here and remove books and things and erase things and want to sit up in here and say, well, this didn't happen. Yeah, you could say that because you removed all the damn books. But then if you're smart, y'all will go and do your research and go and start digging for the historical stuff. Now, as far as Cobra Kai, it is supposed to be coming back. I don't know when, but I did hear that Cobra Kai is coming back. I also heard that they are rebooting. They're making another Karate Kid movie, and from what I heard, Jackie Chan is going to be in it as the Mr. Miyagi type character. I don't know where they're going with it. I know Jaden Smith ain't come back. I didn't like that movie, but I heard that Jackie Chan's going to be in it, and I also heard that Ralph Macchio is going to be in the cinematic version of remake of Karate Kid, which is weird because it's like, well, so how are we going to work this out? Because he's doing Cobra Kai, which I actually like. Remember when that show started out? It started out on YouTube or something or another. Then it graduated over to Netflix. So, and I like the show. It's a little cheesy, but I like a little 80s cheese. Not dick cheese, 80s cheese, but okay, so let's get into our next topic and let's talk about Miss Sara, sorry, Sara Ramirez. I said, child, I done called them by the she pronoun and it's a they. Anyway, so the Sex and the City spinoff and Just Like That, for what I heard, is supposed to be coming back in 2025. By that time, will we care? Because that's a long time for a show to not be on the air or be off the air. I guess maybe they're doing that because, first of all, it's too the goddamn cold in New York City. Like, I think it's like, what, under 30. It's like 20 something degrees in New York. Child, it's freezing. I don't know how the hell I made it to the gym yesterday. And it was colder than it is today. But nevertheless, I made it. I made it. I made it. Anyway, so yeah, so it's freezing in New York. Maybe they're waiting until it gets warm to shoot the new season, but then they talk about the new season come out in 2025. I'll get my opinions on it just like that after I tell y'all this article. I mean, the whole story. So they said that Sara Ramirez's character, Diaz, will not be back for season 3. And what they said was that they were fired because Hollywood is making blacklists of actors who have shown support for Palestinians in the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. Now, insiders are saying that they were cut because their character was a waste of time, but that's rude. Well, according to the Daily Mail, it says a source close to the show ridiculed the suggestion, claiming Ramirez's head had been on the chopping block since last season because their character had no value anymore and was annoying. Sada was not fired because they support Palestine and the ceasefire. This is what they told DailyMail.com exclusively. Sada was fired because Che thought brought nothing to the show anymore. They were on the chopping block since last season. Now, after Che split with Miranda, the character, spoiler alert. Look, they wrote it. I didn't spill it. I'm reading what they wrote. So don't throw tomatoes at me if y'all still watching it just like that. The character really had held no value anymore, and fans found them annoying. The storyline as a struggling comedian was a waste of time, and Sada knew it. Addressing how there are no talks to axe Cynthia Nixon's Miranda Hobbs over the actress's stance on Palestine, the source continued. Cynthia has been incredibly vocal about her support for Palestine and for her being an open lesbian. Yeah, because she with I forget her fiance or her wife's name, but all I remember was shout out to MK over at Delisted. That name has always stuck in my head. The wife, Cynthia Nixon, they used to always refer to Cynthia Nixon's wife as Rojo Caliente, so that's why I remember her as. So they used to crack me up back in the day because of the red hair. So I used to call her, or fiery hair, Rojo Caliente. So that was like that made me cackle. But anyway, so it said that Sada needs to accept that this is not Grey's Anatomy and that her character was not a pivotal part of the storyline. DailyMail.com has contacted a representative for Ramirez for comment. Max, which airs the show, declined to comment. Well, I will say this because, I should point out that viewers, for the most part, they said, found the character cringe and accused them of setting back non-binary representation 70 years. Now, color me ignorant, but has non-binary people been around 70 years? I am confused. Because I'm like, wait a minute. I have not known, I don't think anybody, there's been any notification that they've been around, that non-binary people have been around that long. Like, I've just heard about non-binary people maybe less than 2 years ago. And now they're talking about, 70 years. I think y'all just throwing shit around. But anyway, let's go to the Instagram post that they posted on their Instagram. And it says the following. It says, our industry is so duplicitous. While they give awards away, casting directors and agents are making blacklists of actors and workers who post anything in support of Palestinians in Gaza to ensure they will not work again. While they lift up some of their own clients who have spoken up against this genocide, they are firing and letting others who have smaller platforms go. While they award LGBTQ orgs, they are silent on those orgs' ties to weapons manufacturers who are currently supporting the Israel military as it commits genocide on Palestinian lives that include LGBTQIA 2S+. Oh, I was like, what's 2S? Two-spirited? It took me a second. I was like, oh, that's a new one. The way that y'all put it up in there. Anyway, I get it. Awards are shiny and people need to pay their rent and feel special and powerful. Meanwhile, we are beyond the 100-day mark on this war that has been acknowledged by many, including the ICC, as a genocide. It's wild how performative so many in Hollywood are. But I could have told you that. Even more performative than the last character I played. And I have to say, when it came to that character, I didn't particularly care for Che. I did find Che annoying. Like, I'm all for LGBTQ representation. I'm here for any kind of representation that is outside of the typical BS that we've been getting, where it's just every time I turn, we're seeing straight people all over stuff. Like, it's good to to diversify and bring on different people. And this is why I get irritated when people use, oh, well, y'all just trying to be woke and all this other stuff. First of all, I cannot stress this enough. Well, the word woke is basically a term that is used to show diversity and people who are marginalized, giving them a platform. That is basically what that is. Acknowledging, diversity and all the different things that people of color and stuff have gone through. That's basically what that is. It's just basically acknowledging the things that people of color deal with in society. That's what that's about. Just being aware. It's not a thing of like they're trying to pander or whatever. Now, when it comes to Hollywood and they're pandering, I do agree with that. That a lot of, because it was like even when I watched the opening monologue for, what was it, the critic? Was it the Critics' Choice, or was it one of the shits that Chelsea Handler was hosting? And she said something, oh yeah, this is a great year for women and Barbie and women and feminism and not like when y'all do that, it just seems so performative rather than just give me a role or just give me a movie that has all these amazing things in there, great storyline, good script, great characters. It just so happens that the person is LGBT, that the person just happens to be a woman, that the person just so happens to be black, that the person just so happens to be Asian. Why can't we get those things? I think that's why most people are just gravitating towards the show Reacher, which the ratings, are exquisite over there on Prime Video. That's why people are gravitating towards that, because they're seeing, it's just a good old fashioned action series with great writing and good characters. And, the women, they kick butt, but they don't have to hammer it over your head. And that's what I don't like being preached to. I don't like you having to literally hammer me over the head with some stuff for me to get it. I'm not stupid. And I think that's what's probably irritating a lot of people. It's like, if you're going to create characters, if you're going to do these things, you should do that. But I don't think like the Che character was written fairly well. I do find like they were annoying, that they were the worst part of, partner for Miranda. But guess what? If y'all have watched Sex and the City as long as I have, then you weren't that bad. You didn't feel that bad for Miranda, because Miranda treated Steve like shit all throughout the entire relationship. If y'all go back to the old episodes of Sex and the City, Miranda was always just mean to Steve. I used to hate how she treated him on that damn show. And then she treated him the worst when she went and cheated and got her coochie ate by the non-binary. On your husband. And Steve was the best thing for her. I mean, I get it. Like, anyway, so if you want to go out and sow your wild oats and you want to, try different things and do all this stuff, then you should be able to do that. But the annoying thing is, it's like, I don't know. I just felt like the character just wasn't well written. And it's not only just the Che character, but it just feels like, when it comes to any of the other people, because the big complaint about Sex in the City, like when people look back and, oh, y'all didn't have enough representation, y'all didn't have enough people of color, you didn't have enough all these different things on there. And I'm like, look, if y'all gonna do your little contained show with your 4 white friends in Manhattan, that's great. You do that show, but also it's just like you should have had people kind of weaving in and out, because that really represents New York, where you see different races and different ethnicities and different genders and all this other stuff floating in and out of New York, because New York is a melting pot. I don't say you like we have to all of a sudden now you laying it on that Sarah Jessica Parker got this friend and Miranda got this good Judy that's black. I'm like, nobody's buying this. And so it just felt very much like tacked on, like you're trying to check every box. It didn't seem believable. It's the same thing like with Harlem. Like, we love Harlem, but at least with Harlem, they diversify. See, a lot of these shows have kind of taken the blueprint of Sex and the City and have done their own show. I kind of wish we had like a gay version of Sex and the City. But like, where's that show? Well, child, maybe I need to get to writing it. And write a vehicle for myself, right? So I say all this to say, Sara, you out here, do what you do. You can speak your mind about, Palestine and speak up for the voiceless, because that's what a lot of us who have these platforms, that's what you should be able to do. But people should not have to lose their job, or as they say, you should not be able to lose their job because they have a difference of opinion, or they say something. Like, my job shouldn't have to be in jeopardy because I'm speaking out against a genocide. Oh, and because it goes to show that, oh, so is the opposing people, the Israel people, the Jews, and all are they the ones running Hollywood? Y'all don't want that stereotype hammering over y'all that people are in powerful places, but it just seems like that if you say something against, like, you care about other people, then it's like, oh well, no, you will lose your job. You're gonna lose your livelihood. Like, excuse you. And then the worst part about it, I was thinking like some people get mad because I've had this argument with friends and I've had to lose them because I've been so very pro Palestine. I've lost friends, and some people say, "Well, if you would have went, if you go over there and they found out you're gay, they would behead you or they would hang you." And I said, "Okay, but y'all act like there's no homosexuals or no LGBTQIA, Two Spirited, Elemental P, all the acronyms. Y'all act like there's no queer people in Palestine. You think it's only heterosexuals?" So my heart is going out for the children and the women that are being abused or being killed. And the queer people that are over there, they're in the middle of this too. Like I told y'all the story about like one of my roommates when he rented out his room. One of the guys that rented it was from Egypt, and he was a gay guy, and they tried to, what was the phrase? They were trying to, I think it was, he went on Grinder in Egypt, trying to do a hookup. But what they do over there is that they have the police be on there and they try to set you up. So when you go, but he said he had a gut feeling or whatever, and he got out just in time. But what they do is either you end up in a ditch somewhere or they blackmail you for a payout out of threatening to tell your family. But he said he came out to his parents. The parents were way more understanding and loving and accepting than he had realized before he came out. So he was lucky with that. But he had to leave Egypt and he sought asylum in America. So we had these conversations. I'm just like, you know what? People don't realize what it's like to be queer in other countries and all those things. So I root for anybody that's going through anything because I have a heart. I know it may not seem like I do at times, but I do. So that's all I have to say on that story. I do see we have a comment though. I read Time magazine in 2000. They had Queer as Folk was our Sex in the City. I agree to a point, but it was more of a drama with comedic moments and lots of sex. So that was the thing I liked about Queer as Folk too. I still watch Queer as Folk every now and again. I got the original box set DVDs. The one thing I'll tell y'all about that I hate about Queer as Folk is the fact that they change up all the damn music when you watch it on the streaming services. I guess they lost the licensing songs. And the best part about Queer as Folk, besides the sex scenes and the drama, because it was very soap opera esque, the best part was that club music, the circuit music, the music they was playing in the clubs, because a lot of that was hot in those days. So whenever I feel a little nostalgic, I'll pop on the DVD and I'll watch it in its intended form. Okay, so all right, so let's move on and talk about, I don't know what's going on, but now all of a sudden I'm noticing my internet is interneting. And I got the good internet. I keep telling y'all. Okay, so let's talk about Miss Diddy, who okay, so the Jane Doe, the girl who hasn't been named, is alleged that Combs and Harvey Pierre and a third man trafficked and raped her at Combs' New York recording studio in 2003. So a couple of, what was it, like maybe as shortly after Cassie came out and said what she said, then there was a bunch of other women who came out and filed allegations against Diddy and saying that they were assaulted by him. So the girl that did that, I think they said she was 17 and that Harvey Pierre flew her from where she was at. I don't know if I forget where she was at, where she lived, but he flew her out to New York to the recording studio, Daddy's house, and then a whole situation wound up happening there. The girl posted the pictures on social media, so we clearly know she was there. Now, as far as a rape happens, that's what they got to prove in court. That's why we have the courts and the judicial system and all that mess. Our judicial system may be flawed as hell, but nevertheless, it's there. So now Diddy asked the court to shut down the request of one of the women suing him to remain anonymous in court. Now, according to court documents obtained by Radar Online, the music mogul and his legal team filed the argument under seal. Diddy said the alleged victim asked to proceed anonymously as Jane Doe in the case. Now, Diddy said he does not agree with this. He said he recently learned the plaintiff's name after being informed of her identity by her counsel. His team. So why the hell you asking? I guess because he want everybody to know it now. Like if you know the girl's name, you don't need to know it. But I guess what it is he wants to make it public, and it seems like it's a way of public humiliation. We already seen people who do that, try to do the whole public humiliation thing or get their fans to go after her. Y'all know who I'm talking about, that rapper that got the husband that was accused of sexual assault, and that girl been keeping her knee on his neck for the longest, and how she was using intimidation of her fans to go after her. If that ain't enough of a hint, I don't know what to tell you. So Diddy said that so it said Diddy explained that his motion does not reveal the accuser's name, but it does refer to certain facts about the plaintiff that the Combs defendants have learned because her identity was disclosed by plaintiff's counsel. Now, furthermore, he said that the facts included in his motion will help third parties figure out the accuser's identity based on clues. What the hell is this? We don't need no clues. Just say her name, say her name. Diddy said the accuser had a public-facing identity that could be potentially determined from the content of his motion. Well, child, first of all, with all of this, you coming out and saying, well, her name, like putting her name out there, what does that do for you? Does that um, damn, what was the word? Vindicate. That's what I was looking for. Does that vindicate you from what you've done? No, because you still got to go through the courts and all this other mess. Look, I watched enough episodes of Law and Order S for you to know that if it comes down to her to testify, we'll see what happens. If you can pull enough witnesses or enough, you know, information, evidence, all that good stuff. So, speaking of which, shout out to Law and Order SVU, who's been on. They started their 25th season this week. So, 25 years of Olivia Benson, bitch, that's my show. But shout out to them. Sidebar. But yeah, with this story, just to remind y'all, it said that Diddy and ex-Bad Boy president Harve Pierre and another man took turns assaulting her in 2003 when she was in the 11th grade. Doe claimed she met Pierre and the third assailant so it was in Detroit. She met Harve in a club in Detroit, and then when they were getting to talking back and forth, they convinced her to get on a private jet. And then she came to meet Diddy. Then went to Daddy's house. We saw the pictures and stuff. Like, it's all over social media. There's pictures and stuff of her in the club, as in the recording studio. So other stuff. But at this point, it's like, okay, so revealing her name, what does that do for you? Does that like vindicate you in some sort of way, like I said earlier? So I guess the best thing is like, okay, so her name is out. Now what? The fact of the matter is, you still gonna have to go before a judge. There's still gonna be a trial, possibly. This girl may have to testify and relive these moments over again. But my thing is, if you out here filing lawsuits and stuff, then I say go all the way. You want to make sure that he gets his comeuppance. And look, this may have not been the way everybody expected someone like Diddy, who has been a notorious asshole in this industry for over 30 years, to get his comeuppance, but this is it now. And sometimes you don't know the way that the universe is going to get its karma back on your ass, but sometimes this is what it is. And when you out here doing dirty, we'll see what happens. And so good luck to you, sir. Okay, so yeah, on Netflix, almost all the songs were new for their version. Yeah, I mean, wait, is Queer as Folk on Netflix? I thought it was on they're on Paramount Plus, because that's usually why I watch it. I watch that in old episodes of Drag Race. So that's why I know all that stuff is. Okay, so let's move on, because child, let's get to this Chrisean story. Because when I saw this, I was still trying to figure out with the Chrisean story which clip I wanted to show y'all, because it was a lot. Even thought about, should I even bring up her trying to explain what happened? Because she said she no snitch, but then you were sitting there telling the whole damn story. But this girl, I think she retired. Oh wait, we don't say the R word. I think she's short but special, because they put a helmet on her, put her in the back seat, have her bang her head up against the window, because this bitch can't explain nothing for nothing. Like, she up there, it took her mad long to try to. She was dropping a bunch of N words, and that was it. I still don't know what the hell happened. And to my, oh, he ain't put the gun up on me. So this goes to show that this girl don't care about nobody but herself. Why does she have a show? Because people want to keep giving her money. But it is what it is. So, okay, so let's get to it. So she was apparently filming a speed dating show that I didn't even know was on YouTube. They said it's a popular speed dating show called 20 versus 1. Never heard of it until just now. And they said it's become a famous series on YouTube. Now, what had happened was, while she was filming, I don't even think they even started filming it yet. Some dudes came in with guns and started pressing a contestant. So then the dude wound up getting pistol whipped. His nose was bleeding. It was a hot ass mess. Well, chill. I got the clip. Because, I comes with the homework. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Because sometimes when I post stuff on here, it don't want to show up. and then I have to like refresh certain things. So let's get to it. Please hold.
Nobody want to share. It was different content for bro to share. I think both of the bitches will go viral.
It's different. Like, you know, you're not supposed to be doing this. You asked me, Cuba Chrisean for me, Cuba Chrisean for me. No, I told you no. The fuck wrong with you? And then you gonna go to action shoot? Like, what the fuck they do to get our clients?
Hey! Hey! Oh, no!
And she does the same thing as Cass. And look, he took the camera.
Smack the shit out of him.
So if they try to book with somebody,
they try to do that all the time, actually.
Yeah, through another name, then you know.
I appreciate that.
Hey, put the strap up, stop. Hey, put the strap up. No! Let me do it, Dwayne. Go. No, bro. We gotta go. No. We gotta go. Jesus, bro.
Nobody go down in that guy.
Okay. So yeah, there's that. So nigga nonsense. What I be telling y'all, like, what is going on over here? First of all, I already know that room stink. You see them people that was up in there? You had the pants hanging up your ass. You had this one with like 8 stomachs pulling a gun out of the bottom of his pants, pistol whipping somebody. They did show the picture. Like Chrisean was trying to explain what happened, but it looked like she was drunk and high in Cooter Brown, trying to explain what's going on. I still didn't understand. I had a headache trying to listen to her try to explain anything. I don't even know if the bitch even knows how she got pregnant. But she was up in there saying her other stuff. She showed the boy with a tissue up his nose, blood all over his clothes. There was blood all over the white background and stuff that they had. Like, this is, I don't know if it's going to be on Zeus, because she was talking reckless about Zeus or whatever, but they did say it's some, I don't know if it's a YouTube show. I've never heard of it. I don't know what network it's on, what streaming service it's on. But is this what has become of entertainment now? Like, y'all feel like the more y'all be out here fighting and acting a fool and all the other stuff, that's going to get people to watch these shows? I don't entertain that shenanigans. Like, I miss the days. Like, I love the old reality shows. Like, don't get me wrong, I did watch my Flavor of Love and stuff, but they didn't really have crazy violent stuff on them shows at the time. I'm trying to remember that far back. I don't think that they was up in there beating people up and all this other stuff. I mean, we've seen reality shows where they've done that, but there was always some kind of a what they kind of, like, there would be fights that would break out, but there was always some type of restriction. I don't know how to explain it, but it always seemed to be a little bit of decorum. Now it's just like, y'all just found the worst of the worst. Y'all found like animals out of the damn zoo out of here fighting. Y'all pulling guns out on shit. Now, what if somebody, because my thing is always, if you're going to pull out a gun, then there should be intent to use it and not just having it as a damn prop. So y'all pulling weapons out, y'all pistol whipping people. And then Chrisean in the background yelling, and then some old skinny child in front of her trying to protect her. I'm like, well, you shoot him, you can shoot her ass too. But what makes you think she exempt from getting a bullet? So if she keep playing around with this, and I've seen some people, if she keep playing around with this stuff, she gonna end up dead or in jail. I'm not trying to wish nothing negative in that aspect, but if you start playing in these spaces, it's literally gonna get to that point where somebody's gonna end up dead. And if it's on the Zeus network, Lemmy gonna be out of he's gonna be out of a streaming service. Now, I heard some tea about Lemmy. Lemmy out here giving people STIs and shit on the set of his, on the set of his shows, allegedly. I saw that yesterday. I was like, child. Now, and ain't he married or in a relationship with a woman? I guess that don't mean nothing. But child, if y'all gonna be out here laying low and spread their wide with these old nasty ass bras that y'all be having on baddies or these other shows, the least you could do is wrap that shit up and put on a condom. Because these girls be running around here with all kinds of situations and infections and fish scents and stuff in their coochie. So I don't understand how y'all up in here doing that. But yeah, like I said, I don't entertain this foolishness. I know there's gonna be some people that's gonna entertain this foolishness and think it's cute or whatever, and out of curiosity is gonna watch it. But I'm so sick and tired of the lowest of the lowest hanging fruit getting all the attention, all the stuff. They acting like we want to see this. Like that's the only value that Black people or people of color, or let's just say Black people, because that's it seems like that's all we getting with these type of shows that Black people bring to the table. There's so much more that we bring, but because this is what y'all run to, or maybe that's what they're gonna give us, or maybe it's just the fact that these networks, these streaming services, because y'all get mad when the white people do, y'all get mad when the white man over there that owns Fox, that owns Tubi, now that we found that out, is raking in all this coin. But why are we not going in on these Black entrepreneurs that are starting streaming services and giving us the very shit that these white networks do? It's because we should accumulate our own stuff, but we're gonna pander to the lowest common denominator in order to give them that. We should be the ones out here giving the balance. We should be giving a multitude of different things and showing different sides of our community instead of just people out here pistol whipping or y'all fighting or you drinking and thinking that's all that we want. Because there's so much more to us than that. But I feel like that's what they do. And I already saw people was kind of iffy about, because, with Nene Leakes, she got a new gig. I don't know if y'all heard, but she's about to host Baddies East, the reunion, co-hosted. So she got a gig. I saw that this morning. And I'm sitting there like, people getting mad about it. And I'm like, you want to know something? Nene, go get your coins. She's not really out here getting booked for a lot of things. I'm surprised Carlos King didn't pull her for that new show he got coming up in Atlanta. The one with Usher's ex-wife in Malaysia, who used to be on Basketball Wives. I'm surprised he didn't pick Nene up to put her on that show. They busy over here trying to figure out what the hell to do with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because according to Candy, she ain't got time to wait for nobody to, I got things to do. I can't be sitting around here waiting for y'all to decide what y'all gonna do with our, with the future. Bitch, you ain't give us nothing in the past 3 seasons. You ain't got nowhere, no room to talk about what you can and cannot wait for, because you really wasn't bringing it in the past couple of seasons. So you will wait until Andy and them decide what they're going to do with that show. But nevertheless, I say with this, if y'all watch and y'all let me know when this episode airs, if it even happens, because I don't know how y'all spend all that money on equipment. And you seem like y'all be in there fighting, and they think this is what you have to do in order to go viral or get ratings or to get attention or get noticed. It's not worth it. I don't understand, why do people feel, especially, this newer generation, they feel like y'all need to be out here doing the craziest thing you could do, the better. I just saw something on the internet, some dude that got less followers than me, wanted to go viral. And what he did was, they said he had a pot or something on the train, went over to somebody and poured it on him. They said it was shit. From what I heard, it was poop in it, mixed in with a bunch of stuff. But he went and poured on the person, walked on the train. I said, first of all, you ever do some shit like that, you're not even going to live to see tomorrow. I'm going to jail for homicide. I'm sorry. You're not going to pour no poop. You're not going to pour no... The worst thing you can do to anybody, or to say to me, spit on me, or fling any kind of stuff on my clothes, because I work too damn hard for the stuff I wear to be walking around stinking. Because you want to vote, you want a moment, I'm gonna beat your ass and you put that shit on camera. How about that? So 20 versus 1 had an episode with Saucy Santana. It featured gays and girls and a famous personality named Shamar. Is that the one that's shaped like a broken up bottle of soda? I'm thinking Shamar. That's the one I know people was reading. Well, look, I don't make the news. I just support it. That's what people said. Like, he's shaped like y'all crumple up the bottle, the soda bottle, after all the liquid and stuff has been taken out. And that's kind of, is that the Shamar you're talking about with the shark teeth? They're like going around biting people in fights. Look, I don't make the news. I just report it. I'm asking. I saw Roll Ray was trying to read Lil Nas X for coming out and that whole apology and the whole Jesus thing. It's about my uncle. I think he said his uncle. My uncle was a pastor. I'm like, Chav, you don't sit your behind that. Well, he can't sit down. He's already sitting. What am I talking about? I was like, if you don't sit your, it's like the motherfucker already sitting. What else? Stand up. Do something. I was like, I don't understand how you out here trying to read somebody over them doing the Christian thing. I said, child, you ain't holy and sanctified your damn self. I don't care how many relatives you got that own churches and speak and preach from the pulpit. Oh, so it is a dating show on YouTube. So that's what they were going to be doing. And they brought up in there. And I seen like the people that was working behind the scenes, they all looked like they was new, young, didn't know what they was doing. Just thought, okay, let's just get a bunch of cameras and start recording and see what we can stitch together. But don't really know how to produce some shit. So it's good to know that, you know what, Lemmy, you off the hook with this foolishness. Because I don't think that would have been allowed on the set of on a zoo show. I mean, they be throwing bowls and stuff and doing all kinds of craziness. But I don't think, or maybe there has been, I don't know. I don't watch zoos enough. But if there have been people, except for Bad Boys, the first season, that was the only reason why I took a gander over there at that streaming service. But if there has been stuff that's been going on in that situation regarding that, let me know if they've actually pulled guns and stuff. No comment. So I guess that is regarding the description about. Oh, yeah, I knew that's what you was talking about. Oh, I saw that it was on the train in Belgium. He done. Oh, so yeah, that's what I said. Child, first of all, see, you lucky your ass over in Belgium, because if you did that shit in New York, you would not live to see tomorrow. You will be on that third rail. Trust and believe. And I said, yeah, I did it. Lock my ass up, because what you're not going to do is throw any kind of feces on me. I don't even like picking up shit after my dogs, but I do it because I'm not nasty like some of you people. Where I was going to the store today, and I'm seeing literally a couple of feet shit on the goddamn ground. I'm like, y'all don't bend down or pop a squat and pick up the poop behind your animals. I can't stand when people don't curb their dogs. That's another pet peeve of mine. And I remember when I was living in Harlem, that was a lot of that. And that shit used to irritate me. It's like, y'all gonna have fucking dogs. Clean them damn shits up. Let me get off my soapbox and get back to the program at hand. So, so we're gonna talk about Miss Doja Cat, which I told you there was a situation that went down earlier in the show. You know, we talked about her performing at Coachella and referee. So her brother's cute though. Like I look at him, he's a cutie. He kind of looked like Doja Cat as a boy. But anyway, so I have the picture and stuff on my social media, but if y'all want to look him up, you can Google Schmook. I don't have a photo to pull up right now. But anyway, her older brother, whose name is Ramon, I'm not even going to say the rest of his name because it's a long one. Are they African or something? Because they got this weird, it's like Dalithando Dlamini. It's like, that's a bizarre, I wonder where Miss Doja from? I want to know her name, because her name is Amala Ratna Zadile Dlamini. That's giving me African. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's giving that whole name is giving me African. Africa. Anyway, so they said that her brother Ramon is facing serious allegations of physical abuse, as revealed in a temporary restraining order filed by the singer's mother, Deborah Elizabeth Sawyer. How did she get the regular name on January 12th, or the easily pronounceable one, in the LA Superior Court? So Sawyer as a Doja, whose birth name was Amala, I ain't going through that again, needs protection against the 30-year-old after he gave her a series of cuts and bruises. This is what's according to the document, saying Ramon has verbally assaulted her in a very degrading and demeaning manner. The filing reads, claiming that he also made the Grammy winner, who's 28, feel unsafe and traumatized. Doja's mom also claims Ramon stole and damaged some of her daughter's personal belongings. As for Sawyer, he alleges Ramon also has been physically abusive towards her several times over the past year and threatened to unalive her. The documents claim her most recent violent encounter with her son occurred in early January. Now, Sawyer states that she has been granted temporary restraining orders against her son since 2017, but they have since expired. TMZ reports that the judge granted Sawyer's request for temporary court-ordered protection from Ramon pending a hearing for a permanent restraining order. However, Doja was not granted the same protection per her outlet, since she would need to file her own restraining order request. So, basically, at this point, it's like, well, Doja's mother is getting a restraining order, but Doja herself has to file the report. They said that he broke her teeth or something or another, that he's been abusive, he started taking her things, and that's crazy to me, because it's like, look, I know they always say family is supposed to be, the one thing that's supposed to have your back, and they be the ones that, they be worse than the friends that stab you in the back. Trust I know. That's why I cut a lot of relatives off. But for that, it's just that's just insane to me, how that this is something that unfortunately she's dealing with. But I guess maybe she didn't want her personal business and stuff to get out of there. And I hope that she decides to file, a restraining order and get the help that she needs in regards of like protecting her from her brother. Because if he's bad news and he's gonna be out here and end her life, or God forbid anything crazy happens, you want that kind of protection. Or, well, look, Doja got enough security, I'm sure, that she rolls with. She'll just make sure in her rider that my brother can come nowhere near me. He can't be in any of the areas. If I do a show, he can't show up. If he's at my house, he has to be 50 feet or whatever the case was. But I guess that's where she would have to go file the thing so that way she could have the order of protection. So we'll see if she does that. Now, as far as anything else goes, I know that she said that she's coming out with Scarlet Part 2 or something or another. That's supposed to be coming out. I don't know when, but I did talk about it the other day where she had like 7 new tracks that she's adding. And that's what everybody does these days. Everybody puts out an album, and then a month or two later we get a extended version of the very album, which I find annoying. Look, the more music the better, but I hate when people put out 5 versions of the same record within weeks, and then they'll add like maybe 1 or 2 songs or remix. I'm like, this gimmicky bullshit, get off my line with that. If you're going to give me an extended version of your record where it's more tracks, which we've always gotten that in ways throughout throughout as long as I've been buying music, you always get a couple of bonus tracks or whatever the case was. And I'm here for that. But don't sit up here and try to play in my face and disguise it as like, oh yeah, it's a re-release. No, you're just trying to come out with all these different versions because the bass, the record sales aren't doing what needs to be done. So you're trying to pull these little stunts that when you continue to remain number one. Because there's this race about streaming and all these rules and all this other craziness. So good luck to you, Doja. Doja's father. Oh, so I said it was from Africa. I knew it because I was like, with that kind of name, that has to have some kind of African connotation. So yeah, he's from South Africa, which is why I guess a lot of people always take issue. Because I remember some people was making comments on social media when they were surprised to find out Charlize Theron is South African. I'm like, where the fuck y'all been? I knew Charlize Theron was African when the first movie she did. I forget the name of it, but the one she did with Terry Hatcher. That was a million years ago. That was like when she first came out and did a movie. Was it 2 Days in the Valley? When she did that movie, I heard she was South African. That piqued my interest because I said, I ain't never seen, well, when I was a kid, I never knew there was white people in South Africa. I always thought they looked like, something out of Shaka Zulu or Roots. That's what I thought. But that's when you know better, you do, when you learn things, then your knowledge gets a bit better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So when you know better, you do better, as they say. So let's move on to the next topic, which is basically Kim Zolciak. So we got like 2 more topics after this one, and then we are done with today's show. Oh, plus I told y'all I was doing something, if you just tuning in, that there's a segment that I want to do called Ask Me Anything, where basically if there's anything that's been going on in entertainment news and stuff that's not a part of today's show, y'all can bring it up. We'll talk about it within the last 10 minutes and then we'll be out of here. So if y'all have anything y'all want to bring up and stuff, definitely let me know and then we'll discuss it throughout the show. At the end of the show. So Kim and Croy have drastically cut the price of their Alpharetta, Georgia mansion by $1 million just 3 months after they put it on the market. Now, according to the blast, it was initially set at $6 million, and now the price of Zolciak and Bimmer's home was reduced to $5.5 million, and now has dropped further to $4.5 million. Despite the price cuts, there is still no significant takers for the property. Now, as fans already know, the duo is grappling with financial troubles, facing multiple lawsuits, and dealing with Internal Revenue Services. That's IRS, in case y'all didn't know what that stood for. Now, selling their house could potentially alleviate their financial strain, but they have encountered difficulty finding a buyer. According to reports, the ongoing challenges are compounded by the fact that the property values in the area are lower than their initial listing. I said that shit from the beginning, but let me hold my tongue. Let me just finish reading this. Making the recent price drops a strategy to attract potential buyers. The financial struggles are also taking its toll on Zolciak and Bierman's personal relationship. As y'all remember, body cam footage from November revealed a heated argument where Bierman blamed his estranged wife for their financial issues and accused her of infidelity. Even though both parties have calmed down enough to continue sharing living spaces, it is unclear if their relationship has fully recovered. Despite their very public issues, Zolciak ensured their kids received Christmas gifts, showing the commitment to family amid their financial woes. Well, it could have been that, because I know they're probably saying like, well, where the money coming from? Where's the money that they were able to get? Like, you can't afford to pay your bills up in that mansion, but where'd you get the money to buy them Christmas gifts? It's probably from them home goods stuff that she was selling online that Croy, apparently, from what I was hearing, was trying to get a piece of that pie because he said, oh, she's making a lot more money and stuff. I want a piece of it. I don't understand why it's taking him to now to all of a sudden want to partake in the financials, especially when they're married and that's a joint thing. But my thing was this. I told y'all from the beginning, when I heard that price, they were coming up to $6 million. I was like, who's paying that money? Like, nobody's going to pay $6 million for that mansion. Nobody was going to pay that. I knew that from the beginning. So now they're trying to slash the price little by little. First of all, I think you're going to have to slash it again because I don't think anybody's going to pay the $4.5 million. You're going to have to bring that down to a good. I think they paid $2 million, if I'm not mistaken. I think they paid $2 million for that mansion. You're going to have to bring it up to at least a good $3 million. That's probably what you're going to have to cut it down to. I'm thinking you're going to have to just cut it down to $3 million and take your little tail between your legs, take your loss, and go along with it because the market value on that, I do agree, isn't there. And that house is so tainted with all the drama that's been surrounding it and all the stuff that's been coming out with the news. Who would want to buy that? And this is why I always said, like, look, this is why I'm here for renting and not buying, because when I'm ready to get up and go, I don't want to have to be stuck with a house that I don't want to be in anymore. Or it gets to this point of the IRS and all these other people cracking down talking about you owe money and then I'm broke and I have to pay all this stuff back. And now I can't get up and leave. But I guess the reason why I didn't get kicked out that mansion, because I'm sure they're not, all them bills ain't paid up in there. They probably got squatters' rights. Now, I know I said that I didn't particularly want her to come back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but you want to know something? I'm thinking about it. I feel like at this point, they may need to bring Kim back. As much as she irritates the shit out of me, and look, she'll have to come to work, because but then again, she's probably looking at it as like, well, damn, I graduated to this solo show, Don't Be Tardy. Now I got to come back to the show, with my tail between my, look, sometimes, sis, you got to take a humble pie, a piece of it. And to me, it's like, Kim has never been the type that will accept reality, even though you do reality shows. To me, it always seems like she doesn't want to accept the reality of what's going on in her life. She always wants to pretend that her life is what it is, and when we're seeing with our own two eyes what the reality is. So if you need a check, if you need some money, I think with them needing to revive this show, they may need to bring Kim back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because the Real Housewives of Atlanta definitely needs an overhaul. They need a change over there. I told y'all the last season, what was it, 15? Only watched the first 2 episodes. Then I came back for the reunion, hoping that everything would be better. The reunion was just as bad. So, but one thing I will say, I am enjoying the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Married to Medicine is giving me my life, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this season is giving me my life. I never thought I'd say this, but it made me like Erica Jane again. I'm actually looking forward to seeing her residency when it comes on as that special that they got over on Bravo, of them putting it together and stuff. I know the tickets are $7, but nevertheless, I do it. Look, I'm gonna watch for free in my house on my TV. But I am looking forward to this Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, this season has actually been good. That Anne Marie chick, this better be a one and done season for her. She could go, but for the most part, the girls have definitely been stepping up. Sutton's been giving my life. That's my Virgo sister. I love Garcelle, and I'll be going hard for all those that be trying to come for her. About, oh, you only use the black stuff as a plot point. Well, stop saying dumb shit. You won't have to keep bringing up her blackness. Dorit. They need to get rid of that bitch too. I don't know what is the point of her being on the show. And can y'all bring Eileen Davidson back? Because Eileen, I feel like she needs to come back to the show. Erica, like I said, made me like her again. Vile Kyle, I'm over her and her fakeness. All of a sudden now she eat coochie, but she won't play around whether or not she'll want to admit whether or not she does. I feel like she's playing the whole gay thing for a storyline. Mauricio been cheating on her for a long time, but now she want to act like that she's surprised by everything that's happening. But we all heard the stories about Mauricio cheating on her ass. And so Kyle getting on my nerves, but I hope they hold her feet to the fire, because last night I did see that clip on Twitter where, and then we'll move on from this topic, where Erica brought up to Andy, and Andy be trying to play like he dumb. which gets on my damn nerves because he do be picky and likes to pick and choose when it comes to certain people that he likes. He's very wishy-washy. I think he's a Gemini. That's probably why. It's probably one of the reasons why I don't like him. But no shade to the Geminis, but I'm just talking about him. I don't like him and I don't like Kanye. Those are two Geminis. But anyway, so she said that when y'all raked her over the coals last season, y'all held her feet to the fire. I would like to see Kyle, and that's my girl, but I want to see Kyle get that same smoke. Like, y'all better come at her too. Oh, well, I believe, and then he go and say some bullshit. Well, I believe when she was here and we talked about it within the first week, the last time she came on Watch What Happens Live, she was very open and honest. And I was like, yeah, okay. But that ain't the same as being in a reunion for 11 hours in 3 parts. That's not the same. We need you to go in depth. And even with the show so far that I've seen, because I'm 2 episodes behind, she hasn't really gone in and made mention of the whole relationship thing. She got defensive when Garcelle alluded to it and Sutton really went in and let have on it, and everybody was trying to pretend like, oh my God, she can't possibly be having marital problems. And now all of a sudden, because y'all seeing this unfold on TV, now Erica's tune has changed because of the whole ring situation. But I went on a Beverly Hills tangent, and I mean to, but listen, we talk about Bravo, I was just bringing it up. So I got 2 episodes of that to catch up on, and then, so there's that. But let me look in the comments. Said like Future Nostalgia had a few. Well, yeah, and the thing was, what I liked about Future Nostalgia is that they changed it up. Is that there was different versions. Oh, like Kylie Minogue, when she released Disco, there was so many different versions of that album, which I appreciated. And then when she came out with Tension, she did an extended version of so it's like the same thing with Disco. Like, she had the Disco album, then she had the extended version, then she did another version, but then with Tension, she did Tension and Extension, and then all these other things. So I like when artists take the time out to do that, rather than, oh, I'm going to just release the same album, but I'm just going to give you a new song. One song, I'm gonna add one song or this version. It's like, no, okay, now you're trying to pull stunts and shows to go to number 1. If you're gonna give me something different that would make me want to tune in, then I'll do that. Speaking of which, since you talking about Dula Peep, I'm actually looking forward to her new album. That's coming out, because she said she was inspired by Blur and Moby and rave culture. And I was like, Moby, rave culture? But then I realized, when you listen to Moby's earlier stuff, not Play, because Play was like the mainstream album that came out. When you listen to Moby's earlier stuff, it was very much engulfed in the rave culture and all that stuff. So I get that. Now I was like, well, maybe if she said she was going to put a little Prodigy up in there, I'd be like, bitch, okay, now you really want points, because Prodigy might be a little too edgy for Dula Peep. But then again, when you're British and that vibe, that's kind of like that wheelhouse of what she's from. So I'm like, ooh, she's bringing my childhood back with all that music. Okay, so let's get to this Marlon Wayans story, because we do have a clip that I want to show y'all of him on a show where he was talking about men in dresses and stuff. Because so it all started when Cat Williams went on Club Shay Shay, and he was talking about the portrayal of Black comedians as caricatures. That every time that you see a Black comedian, they wind up in a damn dress. So you look at who was it? When you look at somebody like Medea, or you look at somebody like Big Mama, Martin Lawrence and Big Mama's House, or like Tyler Perry and Medea, or you ever see Black people get all bent out of shape. People have a problem with seeing Black men in dresses. So he went on the cruise show over on LA's 92.3, and he was talking about how the only people that have a problem with men in dresses is Black folks. Every time you see Black people on camera getting in drag or whatever the case was to play a character, y'all thinking it's emasculating, y'all think it's gay, y'all think like that's where y'all take it with a lot of that stuff. And he said it's basically just embracing artistry. And let's not forget, Marlon Wayans was in White Chicks with his brother Sean. So they not only they play a woman, they played a white woman. They was giving us Paris Hilton tease. So and Nicole Richie. So we do have that clip. And so we're gonna play it on the show. And then, we'll come back and talk about the topic.
About the Black man putting on a dress conversation.
You talking to a Black man that put on a dress?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That conversation to me it's silly, because it's a negative thing that is only in Black people. We have, for some reason, been programmed to look down on the craziest parts about our experience, that we're supposed to not embrace our past, not embrace our history, not embrace our heroes, not embrace our different levels of comedy, that we have to be this way. When Robin Williams puts on a dress and is Mrs. Doubtfire, he gets nominated for an Oscar, and white people think it's brilliant. His community embraces him. When Dustin Hoffman puts on a dress in Tootsie and he wins an Oscar, he's labeled brilliant. When black people put on dresses, all of a sudden we're labeled by our own people like something negative. And I'm like, we did White Chicks. That's a classic movie. Mm-hmm. It's a classic. I don't care what nobody says. It's a classic.
Everyone says it's a classic.
That whole thing about, you know, you put on a dress and you selling out, that is not an artist's mindset. When you're an artist, you know, you go out and you create art.
What about the black?
And I actually agree with him on that, because I feel like a lot of times when it comes to art and artistry and stuff, it's like, yeah, a lot of times when we're creating, we're just creating something that is coming from a place of, oh, you know, that sounds like a cool story idea. So, like, I do agree with him, because I think with Tootsie, if I'm not mistaken, he was like a struggling actor, and it wasn't until he dressed up as a woman he started getting roles. And then, you know, we had Some Like It Hot that came out back in the day. I actually saw the Broadway play, and it just closed in December, where it was like two men who were performers at this cotton club type spot, and they witness a murder, and so they dress in drag to try to hide from these gangsters that were off trying to kill them, and the police officer was trying to find them and track them down so they could testify. So if it comes within if you got a cool story idea that just so happens that men are dressing up as women, I don't see why that's a big deal. And that is true. It's like when you watch a lot of white programs and stuff like Miss Doubtfire. I loved Miss Doubtfire when I was a kid. When I saw that movie, I was like, oh my God, I wish I had a nanny like Miss Doubtfire. Because Robin Williams was actually one of my favorite comedians growing up, especially like in movies. Like, it was so many movies that he was in that just played a part in my childhood. From Miss Doubtfire to Hook, there was so many great things that Robin Williams was a part of. And I don't understand why it's like, you know, when it comes to the black community, we always want to label sexuality and stuff on everything. But the reason why I kept this open is because Stormy P said something that really got me. And they said, y'all screaming about the attack on black masculinity, but y'all don't have the same smoke about the drug dealer TV shows, prisoner, or fiend roles. Just say what you really want to say and go. And that's totally true. It's the fact that just say that, you know, there's gay undertones or homophobia. That is the reason why y'all are saying what y'all saying. But y'all want to say, oh, they trying to change people. And I saw little mama man looking ass in the fucking comments trying to say some shit too. It's like, bitch, if you don't go back in your crib, because you was already canceled when you jumped on stage with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys at the VMAs. Nobody asked your boyish looking ass to get up there on that damn stage. Now, see, you know, I know the people get mad when you over try to masculinize a woman, but it's like, bitch, mind your business. Nobody asked you to come over here and assert yourself in the situation or try to speak up on masculinity when some people think you a little masculine your damn self. So stay in your lane, sis. That's all we saying. So I say all this to say is like, I don't mind, like, as far as like someone who is a creative and an artist, I don't mind that people take on certain characteristics or want to do certain things. Like, I think first of all, when Cat Williams was making his little comments about Tyler Perry, there's always been rumors alluding to Tyler Perry's sexuality or Ricky Smiley or whatever the case is. There's always been stuff about them. But when Martin and so many other people over the years have played characters, it's just a character and stuff that they're playing. They're acting. We're always step outside of who we are in real life for the most part. So I don't know why people get all bent out of shape. People get a whole attitude, or people always want to question someone's sexual orientation. And if they are gay, so what? Are you sleeping with them? Are you putting food on their table? Are you putting clothes on their back? Are you paying their rent? They ain't paying your, you know, as like RuPaul said, unless they're paying your bills, pay these bitches no mind. So it is what it is. I say go ahead and continue to do what you do. I did hear that Marlon Wayans is about to do a movie with Jordan Peele. I forget the name of it, but he's supposed to be playing some type of a sports person that kind of takes his kid under his wing and crazy shit ensues. So he's going to be in the next Jordan Peele horror movie. I don't know if he's directing it or he's just producing it under his monkey paw imprint. But yeah, that's Marlon Wayans' next project. Okay, so we have another comment. It said Madonna bought Prodigy to the US. I remember. It was like Madonna had a lot of people on that label. She had Prodigy. She had, remember Cleopatra? Cleopatra coming at you. She had Cleopatra on that label. She had Alanis Morissette. So like a lot of the biggest artists that she had on there, it was like I remember she had Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette I think was like one of her biggest artists. And then of course she had the Prodigy. And so Madonna had a very good ear for bringing a lot of talent over to the US from other places because Alanis is Canadian and Prodigy is from England, the UK. The only thing I wish about the Prodigy though, because a lot of their music kind of had like that hip hop vibe to it, that they had actual rappers that would have like really been a part of that to keep that whole thing going. Because I know Keith Flint passed away a couple of years ago, but it would have been nice to have like to really expand upon that because the one thing I did like about electronic music, the music and everything was there. The only thing I think a lot of those type of groups or that genre was struggling with, the showmanship. They didn't have a lot of like front men that could kind of I guess give that whole American performer stage presence. They just be up there, you have your DJ producer in the back with the beats, and then you have your people hopping around on stage. But I think initially Prodigy weren't even musicians; they were dancers. And it wasn't until, Keith actually came upon, I was like, I want to come up with something, like, give me an opportunity to, like, write a song and perform it and all this stuff. I remember saying, I forget where I saw that from, but they weren't initially musicians. It just so they accidentally kind of fell into that. So I kind of wish that, if that decides to make a comeback, then that's where they'll go. Okay, so let's get to our final topic. Child, I'm side-eyeing this foolishness. So apparently 50 Cent is issuing an apology to everybody he's ever offended. I'm like, wait a minute. April Fool's is not until 3 months. But apparently, I guess 50 is on his New Year, New Me type situation because, he was out promoting Branson Cognac and Le Chemin du Roi. I guess that's how you say it. Oh, he French all of a sudden? The Power Universe producer made an apologetic Instagram post on Tuesday asking for solidarity from those who he's offended, saying, hey, if I have offended you in any way, I'd like to apologize. GLG Green Light Gang, we can get more done together while we work against each other. He captioned the post with shots of himself standing against a wall. The backsliding comes less than a week after 50 was blasted by former G Unit member Young Buck on Steve-O's Wild Ride podcast regarding their past issues. Buck claimed that his contract with G Unit was one of the reasons behind his financial issues, naming his first bankruptcy, saying, I don't know what I did to do to make him actually want to see me not feed my children and stuff like that. 50 is his own person and stuff like that, but I wouldn't ever wish death or want to see him be able to not see him be able to feed his family. Later, it's like, you're rich, my man. You're still doing your thing. I love your TV show Power. You know what I mean? Why are you doing this to me? We were once brothers. Now, 50 has also gone after Diddy, with all the stuff that's been going on about the Tupac, I remember Tupac's murder, the recent allegations surrounding him with Cassie and all the other rapes and abuses that's been going on. Now, he's gone back and forth with Madonna too. Let's not forget that. Like, he would always go and body shame her and make comments about her butt, so she's shaped like an ant. Like, like he said, look, this is all the stuff he said on social media. So not Diddy. 50 loves being out here, being a troll. And I'm sitting there like, sir, you are a mogul at this point. You are a TV producer. You're someone out here who's got like 5,000 spinoffs of Power. You have BMF, you got so many different things. You trying to woo Taraji over to your corner and allegedly Terrence Howard. So you need to be focusing on that and not out here just being on the internet trolling people. Like, you have way more bigger fish to fry than that. Than being out here being a hot ass mess. So I'll say all that to say, I'm gonna give it to the weekend. We'll see how long this lasts. I'm not buying it. I do not believe for 1 second that 50 is a changed man and he's like gonna stop trolling because that's what he does. But prove me wrong at this point. Like, I just don't. Seeing is believing, I guess, is what I'll say on that. So, yeah. But then I was also hearing a story about how they're talking about that. Well, Diddy said he's not attending the Grammys, besides, nabbing his first nomination. And 50 was trolling him on that. Also, I did hear there was a story that came out that Clive Davis said that if Diddy was still, was still want to show up to his, what is it, the Grammy party, the pre-Grammy party or whatever, that the invitation is there, that he can come out and show up. But my thing is this, who's going to actually show their face in that type of situation? Be it in front of millions of people on your TV screen at the Grammys, or in front of your peers that that are a part of the whole industry. Like the industry people, say what you want about a lot of people that's in the industry, but I do not see a lot of these people coming out and actually being supportive and wanting to, see him. They're going to be looking at you and whispering amongst each other and talking shit about you. So I wouldn't show my face until all this stuff is wrapped up. I'd just be hiding in my house. Hibernating. But then again, with me, I got some damn sense. Like, I ain't gonna be out here doing this shit. So there you have it. So I don't know. So we are at the end of the show, but if y'all have anything in the comments that y'all want to add before we get up out of here, let me know. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Any topics, anything that was not mentioned in the show that y'all want to bring up or you want to say, because I see a couple of people watching. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm signing off. So yeah, there's that. I forget what is today's date. Oh, the 18th. Look, January 29th is right around the corner. That's when I'm going to see Miss Madonna. So I'm actually excited about that, and I'll definitely let you know how that show went. I don't know how long I'm going to talk about it, but I will. Okay, so I don't see anything in the comments. Okay, so we're done with the show. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next time for a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I want to thank all of you who have, new and old, those who have been sticking it out, those who were in the comments, those of you who I've been gathering a lot of newer viewers that have been coming on and subscribing to the channel. To that, I say thank you very much. Your love and your gratitude and your support is very much appreciated. And those of you who were in the comments, such as Robert, Felix, Victor, the usual suspects that come on. Speaking of which, I really wish that I was able to hang out with Victor and like us meet up when we was in New York. But apparently when he came to New York, it was around, Drag Race weekend. He was coming in for Drag Race. I was running off to Philly to go support Safira Cristal, who, shout out to her. She's only been on one episode of Drag Race, and she's already been she was at the Madonna show holding her tens in Toronto. So she's definitely out here doing her thing. She's already making her mark. And to me, it's like she's gonna go really far in this season. Like, no, I don't think there's been any so far that I can think of, any of the Drag Race girls outside of Bob the Drag Queen, because Bob is on the tour, that have been with Madonna or have been invited on stage to be alongside Madonna to do the, as I like to call, the unapologetic bitch section, where they hold their tens, the voguing section of the show. So it was great to see Safira up there. This is been a long time coming. She's an amazing talent, and so it's just great to see like she's finally getting her tens alongside holding up her tens next to the queen of pop. So that's all I want to say. So I don't know. Next time when, you happen to come to New York, hopefully we'll hang out. I'm trying to get my butt out to LA for DragCon, which I heard is going to be in the summertime. So I did hear that they moved it later in the summer. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. So I do want to try to make it out to DragCon in LA. I do have friends that I can stay with while I'm out there. I don't have to rent a damn hotel, thank the Lord. But yeah, I do want to make a trip out there so that way I can do DragCon as media, like I used to do. So yeah, so let me get off. I'll talk to y'all later. Love you all for watching. And until next time, ciao, darlings.